Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday. If you enjoy this video, hit that like button, and if you want to submit to be on the show, take a look at the information in the description.
Yes. So the hand I have for you comes from 2-5 at Parks.
Yep. 2-5 at Parks, okay.
Yep.
That's 1,000 cap, right?
Yep, 1,000 cap.
All right.
This hand is like 1,100 effective.
Okay.
So there's just one villain in this hand. It's just me and him heads up in this hand.
Okay.
So the villain is an Asian guy in probably like his mid to late 20s. I don't have any history with him, but I've seen him around the casino before. I've heard a little bit of he's done some crazy things before, but anyway, yeah, just no history between the two of us.
Okay.
So I've been sitting down at this table probably for only an hour or two.
Okay.
So he opened, but I'd seen him. He's been pretty active and stuff. So he opened from the low jack to $20.
All right. So, V1 low jack to 20. Okay.
And I'm in the high jack with Queen of Hearts, Jack of Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to 3-bet to 70.
Okay.
And then it folds around back to him, and he calls.
So your head's up.
Yep, heads up.
Okay.
So the flop comes, I believe it was Ace of Hearts, Ace of Hearts, Jack of Spades, 4 of Spades.
All right. So hijack versus low jack. You 3-bet. You 3-bet Queen Jack of Hearts, which I think is fine, right? Because you've got two people to your left. To 70, yep. He makes the call at 1,100 effective at 2-5. Queen Jack of Hearts. The board comes out Ace of Hearts, Jack of Spades, 4 of Spades. Okay.
Yep. So he checks me, and then I decide to check back. I just don't really feel like there's any reason to bet here when I have middle pair.
I mean, I think you could bet some of the time. Your hand doesn't need a whole lot of protection here, except against a king. And then if you were to bet, it would certainly be for a smaller sizing, right? I mean, the pot's 140. You probably, if you were going to bet here, it would be like $50 or something like that. If you wanted to bet like a robust range of like over 1/3. So you do have a backdoor heart draw here, backdoor straight draws, things like that. So, it's probably a mix, just recognizing that the Queen Jack with the back door is going to be favored more as probably a bet, and some of the other combos are checked.
Kings or queens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So check. Okay.
So anyway, check back.
Yep.
So then the turns are a good card. It's the Jack of, I think it was diamonds. I don't know. The suit doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yep.
Turn comes a Jack.
Yep.
So this is really interesting. So he then leads for 125.
So low jack leads for 125. Yeah, that is interesting because, I mean, back in the day, it's funny, like back in the day, and I'm talking like back in the day, like when No Limit first started coming around, when I used to play like 510 at the bike. This was even before my 510 at Commerce days. 2005, 2006. God, the games were good back then. I would actually raise here quite a bit because I wouldn't. No one's going to ever really fold an ace, and they would take an ace for this sizing. Here, I almost feel like you can keep his bluffs in if he's doing something spazzy, and you can make up for it on the river. Like if he checks the river, you can just blast it or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking there. Like just keep his bluff in his range. Like if I raise there, I feel like I'm just holding out a lot of his ace-X.
Yeah, I mean, he seems a little bit bluff heavy. I mean, the thing is that, again, you're in position, so you can manipulate the pot, not necessarily by raising. Another thing I guess you could do is you could make it really small, like 265. And now, of course, you're always stacking off to make sure he's not going to fold with an ace, and then when he checks to you, bet at the end. But it sounds like to me like you called.
Yes, I just called.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then so the river is another very interesting card. So the river comes the ace of diamonds or clubs, whatever. It doesn't really matter the suit, but yeah, the river comes in ace.
Okay, so the river is an ace,
No
offsuit
flush or
ace.
anything.
So again,
Yeah.
it's a three bet pot, low jack versus high jack. Hero has queen jack of hearts, just 20 to 70 call. Ace of hearts, jack of spades, four of spades, check check. Turns the jack of diamonds, giving you trips. Low jack leads for 125 into 140. You call. Pot's about 390 to 400. And now the river, we're going to put it up as the ace of clubs, double pairing ace jack, four jack, ace.
Yep.
Okay.
So then the low jack thinks for a while and then he checks. So I thought that was pretty peculiar because I was just thinking like, if he had an ace there, like why would he check? Like, because like most players are probably just checking back, like jack's full there, like he's like
Oh
he doesn't. And
man, this is interesting because this I feel like I feel like I might want to, and I've been. This has happened. This brings me now. Now we're going through my historical range of my history in my head of different poker situations, where now we
Mhm.
move to the commerce late 2000s, early 2010s, where I would like to move people off of chops, and I used to do insane things to move people off of chops. And what I mean by that is that
Like check
it.
raise the river there.
Well, you're not check raising the root. No, you're in position, right? Well, I was thinking
Oh
of
no, are you saying? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Or
No, I was thinking of you moving all in and
oh,
him
that's right.
possibly folding a
Yeah, yeah.
jack.
Okay. Yeah.
If he has a jack here and you move all in for basically what is 900, will he fold a jack? Although I have learned though that the math here, you have to be really, really, it has to work a lot and you can't be value owning yourself. And I feel like this risk would probably be too worth the reward in the sense that I bet he has a jack, he has an ace here more likely than he will fold a jack to a shove. Do you follow me? Like that's the balance. Like I'm
Yeah.
looking to either
Yeah.
get him to fold a jack or is he trapping me with an ace, right? Um, other than that, and the other interesting thing here too is that is there so when you take those things out, is there a point in betting?
Yeah.
I think that you could possibly bet really, really small, and maybe he heroes with like a king high, and it's just like one of these things where if somebody was capable of putting you in a really, really difficult spot through a check raise on the river here as a bluff, then you would just check it back. There really would be no value in betting here, right? Because what are
Mhm.
you going to get called by? But
Right.
that's one of the sort of the constant things that really hasn't changed. That like if you bet here like 125, 100, your hand looks so much like an ace, or it can be an ace, that it would be absolute suicide for someone to turn like pocket eights into a bluff. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it would.
Yeah.
I don't think that somebody would do it. So there's a number of different things that are going through my head here. Like, is it jam to get the guy off of a jack? I think that you're going to get trapped here more often than you're going to get him to fold a jack. So there might be merit to checking behind if somebody was going to be able to put you in a tough spot. But at this level, I think I like a small bet.
Okay. Well, I didn't actually do that, so I ended up going like pretty large. I ended up betting like pot,
Now, why would you bet
like 400.
pot though? That's that size I don't understand.
Right. Well, I was actually thinking something. I don't know. This may be a little too crazy. So I don't know. I thought he was capable. Like I know he'd done some like crazy stuff. Like I thought he was capable of like hero calling me with like a hand like king queen,
Okay,
thinking that like
but that's why I want to bet like 125 or 150, not like 400. How do
I
you
guess I kind of
arrive?
want.
How do you arrive though? Like after you call his 125, if he has king queen and he leads for 125 on the turn, right? And you three bet pre and you call the turn, how do you arrive on the river with a hand that he can call 400 with king queen? Like what hand do you have? Like a counterfeited pocket tens?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like I could make it look like counterfeited pocket tens or like pocket nines. Like basically, by betting pot there, I look like I have an ace or like a counterfeited pocket pair.
Um, well, I mean that sort of goes to what I was saying is that Well, so you're saying that if you bet pot, you might get called by king high, but if you jam, you're not going to get called by king high. And I'm saying you might jam to get him off of a jack. I don't know. I think that I'm not a huge fan of that sizing. I just don't think this king high is going to call. What ended up happening? So hero bets 400.
Yeah, so I actually he thought about it for a while, and he did call, and I was good. Like Jack full was good.
And you never saw what he had?
I never saw what he had. No.
Well, I mean, if people have been with me for a long time, I would sometimes make a play like an all-in to try to get a guy off of a jack and sometimes get called by some worse hand too. I remember that happening several times in the course of 2 or 3 weeks back in 2010, 2011. I can't remember the specific hands. Um, it seems to me like that's really far out to left field. I don't know, results oriented or what, but
Right.
I think that probably a more efficient value bet here with the jack would probably be like 125 to 150. But I guess you got the job done. I mean, it's definitely kind of wacky, and I wonder if this
Yeah.
player ever folds a jack to a jam. Apparently not. If he's calling with king queen high, and how often does a player trap with an ace? I guess is the
Right.
question. So, anyways, thank you. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this call in hand, hit the like button down below. If you want to check out crushlivepoker.com, click on the link in the description. Use the code YTA200 to get the first 30 days for free.